Alright, what is going on, everybody? Quancredible here to bring you the review for Black Clover chapter 273. And this chapter is honestly how Tabata should be doing it, in my opinion. Like, if you're only going to do 15 pages, all 15 of them pages should hit a different topic. It should be moving. This is like really what I wanted to see as far as how he writes now. Like, as far as how that goes, this is what I wanted to see from this. So this chapter covers so much stuff. Like, there's so much information here, which is amazing to me. Like, some people might not like the influx of information or felt like it was too much, but I personally loved it. So this chapter begins already with a huge reveal. Like, not only are we at the Spade Castle, but when Xenon goes inside like the inner room or whatever, there's Morris, the famous Diamond Kingdom scholar scientist. And I was one of those people who was never really big on the Morris theories. In case you are in the dark about Morris, Morris is basically like the person who was behind all of the experiments in the Diamond Kingdom, such as changing Ladros's body, as well as imbuing him and Mars with the magic stones, as well as he's also kind of responsible for Fauna in a way as well. Because actually no, he's totally responsible because he was the one that made them all fight each other to the death. So he's 100% responsible for that. But yeah, Morris is overall a pretty scummy guy. But people have always had theories about him coming back into the story. And I, for one, never really gave them any thought. Cause I'm just like, yeah, it seems, because his name was literally mentioned one time. He was never shown. This is way back in chapter 92 or something. So he was way long ago. So I never really gave it much thought. But to see him here opens the door for a lot of possibilities. And to see that he's working with the Spade Kingdom, as well as not reviving Dante, but in charge of healing Dante. And actually, speaking of that, Dante is in a healing chamber and he is getting ready.
It's called an isolation chamber. It'll get Kakarot's strength back in no time. The liquid in this capsule is synthetic Saiyan DNA, which will penetrate his every pore and make him as good as new.
Whoa, Mondo cool.
That's right, boys. Mondo cool.
He is getting ready to fight Asta again, and he's gonna come back even stronger. So we will see how that fight goes. Now, me personally, I was always kind of on the fence about the Asta and Dante rematch, and by on the fence, I mean if Asta won, it would just depend on how he did it, on if I was okay with it or not. Because you would think that, okay, Yami and Asta were barely able to beat Dante, and this is mostly accredited to Yami, because literally the first time Asta and Dante fought, he couldn't even touch him. So he literally could not even touch him. He died 7 times, with the help of, Yami and Vanessa's cat. He luckily didn't actually die. But I'm just saying, for him to win, it would have had to been kind of crazy. But with them making Dante even stronger, I'm really on the fence about them making Asta win. His devil union must be something crazy. But aside from that, another thing I want to talk about in the room with Dante is Lotus. Lotus is also there. And it's funny because Tabata mentioned a long time ago that he just likes how Lotus is, so he wanted to incorporate him more into the story. But this was forever ago, so I just assumed that he was never really going to put Lotus back in, at least not in the Spade arc. I wasn't expecting to see him. But it's funny because when Morris mentions that Mars got him ran out of the kingdom, it just seems odd to me that there's 2 Shining Generals, or appearing to be 2 Shining Generals there, and Lotus. Now, my initial thinking is that Lotus is a spy. I definitely think that Mars trusts Lotus, just because he seems to be one of the more reasonable people in the kingdom. I feel because Lotus's whole thing is he does everything for his daughters. I want to say he has 4 daughters or something, and this is why he does everything. He's all about his daughters and all about his country. So for him to leave with Morris just seems like it would go against what he believes in. Either that or possibly during the Spade attack. He was forced to switch sides, but it's they don't really need Lotus, so I can't see anyone trying to take Lotus to the Spade side, because I mean, he's a useful mage, but at the same time, it would just have made more sense had he joined willingly on Mars's Mars asking him to spy on Morris, or possibly betray Morris at the last. That's kind of what I think is in store for Lotus on this arc. even he notes that like everything here that's going down is totally not good. We get to see this huge like ritual thing with like Yami and William. It looks like both of their magic is definitely being used for the ritual here. Not for sure exactly how far along they are in this, but it doesn't like appear that they're in like any kind of crazy pain. Like that's kind of, it's really small. I always thought that like during the ritual they'd be experiencing like horrible pain or something, but no, they appear to be just being used for it. And then another crazy thing that we get to see that Lotus mentions is this huge giant like demon thing outside of like a window, or it looks like on like a TV screen or something. And that must have been that giant crystal thing that Dante was in front of, like way at the beginning of all this spade stuff. I'll put that panel up so you guys can see it. But this giant demon thing, that has to be the crystal or ice thing that Dante was in front of. And it's crazy because this demon thing could be a lot of different things. I definitely don't think it's like Demon Lich's body or Demon Lich brought back or something, because it wouldn't have made sense for the Diamond Kingdom to get that far into the Clover Kingdom to get like pieces of it to replicate it. I also don't think it's any like, I don't think it has anything to do with elves. I don't think this is an elf thing, or they captured an elf and made it turn into a giant demon. I don't think that's it at all. I honestly do think that this could have just been something that was already in the Spade Kingdom that was like sealed or something, like a sealed demon, and it's just getting out. I know some people think it's part of the ritual and that it's like the first demon coming out. I don't really agree with that. Or some people think that it could be, you know, like something that more is just created. I don't really think that. I really think it has just always been in the Spade Kingdom, and it's just a sealed demon essentially. Like almost say something similar happened in the Spade Kingdom, like what happened in the Clover Kingdom, where there was a giant demon attack, but they had someone destroy it completely. It could have something like that could happen in the Spade Kingdom, where there was a giant demon attack, but the mages there just sealed it. That's kind of how I think of it. But yeah, from there we get to move on to back to Asta and Notch, and we get to see like the very last remnants of Asta's. Apparently he was able to perform a devil union. Even though Notch and himself realized that it was only for an instant, he was still able to do it. Now we can't really tell what it is, but from the right arm, it looks like that's like kind of a like arm plate for like armor. And I know lots of people have been saying anti-magic armor forever. Like it's not like anybody had that one on their own. A lot of people have been saying that, especially since Tabata is a fan of Berserk. It would be very similar to like Guts having armor, which is, it's definitely cool that Tabata does incorporate lots of things that he likes and are inspired by in the story. But another thing that I want to take away from this panel is you can kind of see the like slash that Asta did towards Noct, but before we even get to Noct, like you can see it in the room. It's like on the floor of the wall, kind of, it cut like the like chandelier and everything. And I think it's really important here because Noct himself says that Asta intentionally avoided a direct hit, and that his devil union came undone on his arm even though it didn't even touch it. And then he also says that, you know, Asta's attack erased his magic, which doesn't have any substance, and the mana zone along with it, which is absolutely insane. Like to think that Asta was even able to do that, like it just, the fact that he's able to erase magic that didn't have any substance kind of goes back to what he did when he was Berserk Asta, when he did that first attack when he went Berserk and it like erased Dante's magic in the area. That's kind of it's kind of like that foreshadow what just happened here. Like he's able to, you know, affect magic that doesn't have substance, which is something that Asta probably would have always struggled with without this. And the fact that he's able to erase a mana zone entirely is absolutely insane. So definitely big excitement for Asta's Devil Union to see what it can do and its possible full potential. He is going to be staying behind, which kind of makes sense because Nocta realizes that, you know, you really can't do it all like that. So we're going to get kind of like, I really thought of Bleach in this moment when like everyone was fighting in the 1,000 Blood War, or the 1,000-year Blood War, and like Ichigo was still behind, and like Ichigo got there like super late all after the fact, but like to save the day and stuff. It kind of reminds me of that kind of thing. That's definitely what I think of when I was reading this. And it's kind of funny because Noct is keeping Gimadello behind, and he's kind of scared because he's like, yo, if I get hit with that, I'm done. Like, I will just die. He's like, I'm just going to be dead. And then at the very end of the chapter, we have the Spade Assault Force, or whatever they're going to be called, all together in their like new uniforms and all that. And it looks hype. It looks really mad clean. I was kind of sad just because like here they are making another like unit or task force, and like Yami and William, like they weren't a part of the Royal Knights, and I personally thought the Royal Knights robes were fire, and these ones are dope too. So I was in my mind, I was hoping, dang, if they ever do something like this again, I hope that William and Yami get a chance to be in them. But of course they're captured right now, so they don't have a chance I will never get to see what they look like in these, which is kind of sad. But yeah, we get to see, like, it appears to be all of the captains are there except for Kaiser, and we also have Yuno, Langris, as well as Seki, which blew my mind. Seki's having an amazing week, be it in the manga or in the anime. Like in the freaking anime, he's promoted all the way up to first class senior Magic Knight, so he's vice captain status in the anime, and in the manga he's part of this super important task force. So it's like, this has been an amazing week for Seki. I know some people are saying Seki is going to die, but I really think they're probably going to give Seki like some like feats here, because Seki really can do a lot of things. Not that I'm trying to make a case for him, because I don't personally really care for his character all like that. And then it's funny too, because I have seen lots of people talk about this as well. In the panel right before the huge, you know, squad shot, we see that there are 13 people, and from what we can see, we can only see 9 of them, with one person's like only being able to see like their shoulder. So a lot of people have been speculating who it is. I don't really necessarily think it's any, like, I don't think it's like Marileona or anything like that, because her character is so like big and boisterous. Like, she's really loud and out there. I feel like Tabata would have no reason to not show her. I have seen some people think that it could be like the 4 members of the Black Bulls that were at the base, be that being Vanessa, Fenro, Gauche, and Gray, which, I mean, is possible, but again, I feel like Tabata would just show them. RTL Faith at the Black Clover vs. Everybody podcast, he had a really good idea, saying it could be 4 of the vice captains that we haven't seen, being the Azir Deer, Blue Rose, Silver Eagles, and Green Mantis, which would be cool. We haven't seen them, so it makes sense for them to kind of be hidden. I know some people speculated it could be like Gildray and Revchi, as well as someone else. There's lots of different people that it could be. I definitely do think it's somebody who is native to the Clover Kingdom. I don't think it's a random Spade resistant soldier or Ralph, or I don't think it's any Heart Kingdom, like there's no Spirit Guardians in there, because it wouldn't make sense for them to have the robes also. I also don't think this image is including Noct. I think this is just what we're getting from the Clover capital itself, so I don't think this is including Noct. Or Asta, obviously. I think the Black Bulls will be there, but just not in this group. Like, I think they're gonna come on their own, which would be cool, because Finral has been to different parts in the Spade Kingdom, so I feel like Finral could probably get them close enough. As for me, I don't really have any exact prediction on who these 4 people are, at least not yet. I don't have any yet. There's definitely a lot of people coming. There's a lot of people that we can rule out, but I don't have anything solid as of right now. And with that is the chapter. Overall, this chapter was amazing. This was like, in a long time, this was, I want to get to chapter 10, I really do, but I'm not. I'm gonna give it like a 9.5, maybe just a solid 9. Like, only thing that could have made this chapter better is if we got a flashback. Just because I like flashbacks personally. If you don't, that's fine. If people give this one a 10, I'm not gonna be mad at it. I would not be mad if people gave this chapter a 10. So as for what's going to happen next, seeing is how many different avenues Tabata hit on. He could go a lot of different places. He could peek into the Heart Kingdom. Since he dabbled in some Diamond Kingdom stuff, we could even get some Mars next chapter, possibly. That would be hype. We could just go straight into the invasion. There's lots of different ways Tabata could go, seeing as how he set this up, which I'm extremely excited to see for next week, since we have no break, so we're going to get right into it. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the chapter down below, if you guys liked it, if you guys were enjoying it. If it's like a 10 out of 10 for you, I'm very curious to know the ratings on this one. Also, who you guys think those 4 extra people are. Like I said, I don't really have a solid prediction, just because it's kind of early, and it's just pure speculation, so I don't really have a solid pick for myself right now. So I would definitely like to know what you guys are picking down below. But yeah, that is about it for me. Make sure you guys like the video, so sub to the channel. I definitely do appreciate all you guys' support. And with that, I have nothing else for you guys, so have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.